Slick.
Wait till that motherfucker start hitting that body.
Yeah.
Alvarez hit that motherfucker body.
Look how slick. Mike, look how slick he is.
Oh, he's gonna get
in August of 2024 against Israel Madrimov to make him a 4-division champion. That's it. That's all. He hasn't fought since then.
With Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go around.
Mike Tyson threw a direct warning at Terence Crawford after backing Canelo Alvarez at the press event, saying Crawford is way too small to survive against Canelo. Tyson flat out said Crawford has zero chance of beating the Mexican superstar and even called the fight boring for fans. His savage take instantly set the pre-fight stage on fire, making people wonder if this fight should even happen.
That Terence Crawford is simply too small and doesn't have a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez. I am Mike Tyson. He says that this is a fight that nobody calls for. It's just simply too much of a size difference. Shannon Briggs is the believer in styles make fights, skill set, and the skill set of Canelo Alvarez versus the skill set of Terence Crawford favors the skill set of Terence Crawford, not only just to win, but to possibly stop Canelo Alvarez for the first time in his career. Now, Canelo Alvarez is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terence Crawford is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terence Crawford is 4-division champion, undefeated, 2-division undisputed champion. Canelo Alvarez is a 4-division champion, 2-time undisputed super middleweight champion, and reigning undisputed super middleweight world champion with a record of 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout.
Gabe Rosado, a veteran who's seen it all, didn't sugarcoat his opinion on Crawford versus Canelo. Rosado said straight up, Crawford doesn't hit hard enough to hurt Canelo. He gave Crawford credit for his slick skills, footwork, and accuracy, but added that none of it matters against a beast like Canelo. He reminded everyone that Canelo has eaten bombs from some of boxing's hardest punches and kept walking forward, which makes him doubt Crawford can even scratch him. Rosado made it crystal clear. Crawford's weakness is his lack of raw power and toughness.
I don't see how Crawford could hurt Canelo, because Canelo's been in there with Kovalev. He's been in there with Bivol. You know what I'm saying? He's been in there with big punchers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can a guy that's really a 47-pounder, even though he's up in weight, I don't see how he can hurt Canelo. You know what I'm saying? It just feels completely, because your body is different to absorbing a bigger blow. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, when I sparred the guys in the lower weight classes and they hit me, bro, it's like, no disrespect, but it just feels like you get hit with a pillow. It's just different. It could be a murderous puncher at 147, but if I'm walking around 185 and I'm a solid guy and I'm used to fighting guys, you know, with a different kind of power, and I spar a guy that's a welterweight, it feels like a pillow.
Boxing analyst Showbiz didn't hold back either. He doesn't believe Crawford stands a chance. His reasoning was simple. Size, strength, and style are all in Canelo's favor. Showbiz said Canelo's resume, fighting killers across weight divisions, gave him the tools to dismantle smaller fighters with ease. He admitted Crawford's ring IQ and adaptability are elite, but said that won't crack Canelo's iron chin and dominance. To him, this fight is a mismatch, and Crawford would need a miracle to flip the script.
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford.
Yeah.
Got Canelo. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. When you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo, I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody can do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be tough.
Pay the bill. That's why Canelo killed the bill.
Crawford's decision to bulk up for Canelo has raised alarms with trainers like Robert Garcia. Garcia warned that adding too much weight will ruin Crawford's speed, stamina, and sharpness, his most dangerous weapons. He also destroyed the comparisons to Floyd Mayweather, saying they are flat out wrong. Floyd never bulked up carelessly. He beat bigger men with brains and speed, not extra pounds. Garcia said this risky weight gain could blow up in Crawford's face, putting him behind before the bell even rings.
With Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds, then they're trying to maybe go the distance and they'll be happy with that. But I think Crawford's natural talent, Mayweather had it. You know, you guys were just mentioning right now that Mayweather never needed to gain weight and never needed to be heavy to be able to beat those bigger guys. I think Crawford's skills, we give Crawford a chance because we know how good he is, how, you know, his skills, his speed, his combinations. But if he's gaining so much weight, he might not be able to do those. He might not be able to have those same skills when it comes to his speed, his footwork, because of the weight. So we'll see. You know, I just hope he's not just training and getting big to survive and go the distance, because maybe that's a win for him. Maybe he's thinking, if I go the distance with him, that's a big win for me. So, you know, I just hope not. I expect Crawford to actually pull up some runs and maybe even pull up the fight. But if he's too heavy, too big, he's gonna get hit, and he's gonna have to exchange punches, and that's where
Gary Antuen Davis had no hesitation praising Canelo Alvarez. He called Canelo a complete master who knows exactly how to use every weapon in his arsenal, and said Crawford can't erase years of perfected skills. From slick head movement to deadly counters and body shots, Canelo has sharpened it all at the top level. Davis admitted Crawford is smart and adaptable, but insisted Canelo's ability to dictate the fight makes him dangerous. Once a fighter gets the confidence and rhythm Canelo has, Davis said, breaking becomes almost impossible.
Canelo, he has mastered his style. Now, typically, Latinos, they got their own style versus melanated black people. Having like more rhythm, more flashiness and panache to their stuff, more swag.
Yeah.
We just fight different than other ethnicities. If you want to throw Amir Khan in there, his ethnicity, he was in and out.
Yeah, that's the European kind of style.
Textbook, you know, but that was his style. Canelo got his style and he mastered it. Terence Crawford cannot take nothing away from him. He's like freakishly good, you know. He go both sides, southpaw, orthodox, you know, and I feel like he adapt well. But it don't take much to get hit, especially these little 8-ounce gloves. He cannot slip up. He cannot slip up. He gonna have to stay set from bing to bing from round 1 to 12, and he better be in shape.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like not 12 round shape. I'm talking about like 16 round shape.
Ex-champion Chris Algieri broke down why moving up in weight is so dangerous. He explained that adding pounds messes with timing, stamina, and footwork. He said Crawford might look bigger on fight night, but size doesn't equal strength. Algieri warned that fighting in an unfamiliar weight class is risky, especially against a guy who dominates it naturally. He said Crawford's skills are world-class, but the extra weight could drain him, especially in the later rounds when gas tanks decide everything.
So that's another aspect of that comparison. And yes, you know, to exactly what the champ said, exactly what Abel Sanchez said, you know, you're going to put on weight, you're going to be a different fighter. And I can say this even as a fighter as myself, as I've gotten heavier in my retirement, I try and move around the gym, it just feels different. And even when you start camp, you feel different in the beginning than you do at the end. But listen, we're still 4 or 5 weeks away. I don't know exactly what Terence is weighing right now, and even if he does say what he weighs, man, he's gone out there and said he's weighed, you know, all types of crazy numbers just to get media to respond. So it's really not really going to know until the fight and we see these guys next to each other. He might look bigger right now, but he might not be that heavy. He might still be in the range that these guys are targeting for the fight itself. But I will say this: if you look at it historically, Floyd Mayweather, when he fought Canelo Alvarez, Floyd was 36 years old. Canelo was a young man. I think he was 21 or something like that, or 23, under 23, whatever the case may be. Floyd came in how Floyd always comes in. He didn't try to put on weight for that fight. I think he came in 150 pounds, like he always did in his big fights, and even at 36 years old. And it was his speed, it was his technical proficiency, it was his skill and his jab, which is what gave Canelo fits all night long, and eventually why he lost 11 rounds to 1. So I don't know that Crawford really needs to be packing on this muscle. And I have actually argued in my own head. I'm like, yeah, but he's older. He's not Floyd. Floyd was 36 when they...
Another analyst completely shut down Crawford's chances, saying Canelo won't lose this fight, period. His reason was blunt. Crawford can't hurt him. Without enough power to make Canelo respect him, Crawford's already beaten. The analyst predicted Crawford won't last 12 rounds against Canelo's heavy punches. Even if Crawford tries to put a fence together, Canelo's chin, strength, and control range will smother him. He respected Crawford's career, but said size and toughness will decide the outcome, and that favors Canelo all day.
He's on the undefeated phenom. He said that he sparred Canelo Alvarez, and he hit Canelo Alvarez with his best shot. His best shot. This is a power puncher. Yeah, he's smaller than Canelo Alvarez, but let me further explain. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing. Nothing. And some of y'all gonna be like, but yo, that's Virgil Ortiz, he's smaller. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing with Triple G. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing versus Kovalev. Kovalev killed the man in the ring. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing with Danny Jacobs. Canelo Alvarez wasn't even demoralized by Dimitri Bivol. He just got outboxed. He didn't hurt Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, you see how he say iron Mike Tyson? Well, Canelo Alvarez has an iron chin. Terence Crawford. And also, put it this way, after the fight with Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez, and I spoke to Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo basically said that, yo, Canelo Alvarez couldn't feel my punches. I hit Canelo Alvarez with 2 left hook and he didn't even feel nothing. Jermell Charlo was Iron Man Jermell Charlo. The 154-pound undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's not active right now, but we all know he was an undisputed, a knockout artist that got all his belt by knocking out every opponent to become undisputed, ladies and gentlemen. Canelo Alvarez has gotten hit with the most devastating punches in his generation, 175 and 160. Fought the likes of Kirkland that was known for power.
Willie D, a former boxer turned commentator, hit it from a different angle. He pointed out that Canelo is younger than Crawford, and in boxing, age matters. Add in Canelo's height advantage, and Crawford is already in trouble. Willie D said age and size aren't just numbers. They change reflexes, recovery, and the ability to take punishment. His bottom line, Crawford walks into the ring with layers of disadvantages before the fight even starts, making this almost mission impossible.
34, Bud is 37. So you give that edge to Canelo, because in boxing, youth is a commodity. Height. Canelo is 5 feet 7.5 inches tall. Terence Crawford is 5 feet 8 inches tall. So you give the slight edge to Terence Crawford right there. The reach. Canelo is 70.5 inches tall. Terence Crawford is 74 inches tall, which gives him an almost 4-inch reach advantage. Their weight, Canelo is a middleweight and Bud is a lightweight middleweight. Records. Canelo is 63-2-2, 39 knockouts. Bud is 41-0 with 31 knockouts. Canelo's last fight was a victory over William Skull. It was a unanimous decision on May 3rd, 2025. Bud last entered the ring on August 3rd, 2024, where he defeated Israel Madrimov.
John Ryder, who has gone to war with Canelo himself, gave his raw opinion. He said Canelo's style is built on steady, relentless pressure that breaks opponents down mentally and physically. Ryder said Canelo's true strength isn't just power, but his ability to control pace and rhythm. He explained that even great fighters eventually fold under that grind. In his eyes, Crawford's sharp skills and big heart won't be enough to last 12 rounds. Ryder's conclusion? Canelo's strength, pressure, and championship experience will drown Crawford.
You can watch the Bivol blueprint, the in and out. I mean, a lot of fighters getting stick now for being runners, Tom and Jerry and whatnot. But stick to what you're good at. Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. He's won titles through the weights, undisputed at, 3 weights now. And listen, if anyone can do it, it's him. I think the weight will be too much of an issue. Canelo is a special talent. And I think the weight will play a factor in the fight. But listen, Canelo once done it and made the step up to super middleweight. I would like Crawford to be more at light middle and middle to build into it, but you take these opportunities when they come, and that's what greatness is, chasing.
Yeah, and I've heard that before. Like some people said if you see him at 154, he fought a Madrimov, and you saw how much he got touched. Obviously, it's 2 different fighters, but. Why do you think he should probably? You think he should have probably taken another fight, maybe at 160 or maybe another one at 168?
He needs to build into it a bit. I think the fight with Madrimov was his first fight at
154.
At 154, and listen, he's still developing and growing into that weight. You could have done with a couple more there, then moved up to 160, but it's all being done as a bit of a rush. So he's not going to be fully. He's not going to have time to put the muscle on to build into the weight, and he's obviously going to do it with the intention of getting back down to 154 and taking on other challenges. So it's not a long-term goal for him to stay there. But like I say, Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. I remember watching him beat a good friend of mine, Ricky Burns, and it's like since that day I was just, my ears pricked up and I took notice. And every time Terence Crawford boxed, I watched.
While most backed Canelo, Coach Anthony kept things real with a more balanced take. He agreed Canelo is bigger and more seasoned at higher weights, but warned people not to underestimate Crawford. He said Crawford's high IQ, switch hitting, and versatility could give Canelo serious problems. Anthony added that Crawford's timing, angles, and killer instinct make him a real threat. His message was clear. Writing off Crawford is a mistake, because his skill set can trouble even an elite champion like Canelo.
Okay, but we have to break some things down into perspective here. First and foremost, Terence Crawford is a very strong 147-pounder. He's not a regular guy. He's not a regular 147-pounder. Another thing is, he's an extremely determined fighter. That guy's a winner. He's cut from the same cloth as the Andre Wards, the Floyd Mayweathers. That you only get certain fighters that come across in a decade that have that kind of aura and that kind of determination to win. Now, if we want to break it down fundamentally, don't get me wrong, Canelo is a strong fighter. You know, he's proven himself. He got a great chin. He's fought some of the best fighters that you can ask for. But he's not that much bigger if you ask me. They're about the same size and height. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a little bit wider. He's a little bit, thicker, right? Like, as far as his frame goes. But we got to be honest here, man. He's not that. It's not like we're fighting Benavidez here, okay? We're fighting a guy that he can still get his jab off. He can still use his footwork. He can still use his defense to go ahead and evade some of these punches. You know what I mean? So for me, Terence Crawford is going to be, if Canelo goes in there and underestimates Crawford's strength, that could be a mistake, okay? It only takes a few pounds of pressure to hurt a guy. You don't need to be that big of a guy to hurt a guy. So, at the end of the day, Crawford is a threat as well if Canelo goes in there and overestimates his weight and his size. I've seen bigger guys get knocked out by smaller guys in the gym all the time with headgear on and 16-ounce gloves. So we have to just take a few things into account when it comes to...
So, who do you think takes a showdown of styles and power? Drop your predictions in the comments below.